Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. Good to be with you on this Thursday. Good to join Jenny Power outside in the Outdoor Weather Center. Jenny, I ran outside right before the show. Seems like a beautiful day overall, fairly mild, but things are changing in the future, especially as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Laura. I mean, as I've stepped out here to the Outdoor Weather Center, it is a really nice summery day. Temperatures are warming up. We're in the upper 70s right now for Spokane. But the concern over the next couple of days and really focused on Saturday is going to be the risk of some critical to even extreme fire danger. Across the region, though, as we are outside here across the inland Northwest, we've been in the upper 70s through Sandpoint and Coeur d'Alene. We've got some low 80s out toward the central part of the state. So folks enjoying some of this clear skies, sunshine. It feels very summery out here. And we've even been getting a break when it comes to current air quality across parts of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, as we have some high-level haze and we have been seeing some moderate air quality conditions. But as we move forward and take a look up at OMAC, we do see some unhealthy air quality toward the Okanagan Valley. Taking a look at your day planner for the day today, conditions will continue to be mostly sunny. We'll look at highs reaching the mid-80s this afternoon, but our weather impact alert, it is going to be in place for Saturday. It's because of dry conditions, plus the combination of some very strong winds. It could lead to critical to extreme fire danger. It's why the National Weather Service has issued this widespread fire weather watch for all of these areas that are shaded in tan, because of the threat that new fires could start and spread rapidly. We could also see difficulty when containing already existing fires. So the full details of this, how strong the winds are expected to get and when they're also expected to peak this weekend, in just a few minutes. Laura.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Landlords now legally have to provide adequate cooling to tenants thanks to Spokane City Council officially passing what's called the Right to Cooling Ordinance. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones was at last night's meeting, and he breaks down the vote.
Prepared to vote.
Well, there was quite a bit of dialogue at this week's city council meeting.
Because you got to go out and get pricing, you got to contact vendors, there's a lot of things that go into it.
But just because it requires multiple streams of action does not denote the importance of any one action.
Between public comments and testimony from council members ahead of the vote, several perspectives were shared, different opinions voiced.
This was created in response to the 2021 heat dome, but also in anticipation of increasing temperatures, right? Because it's not getting any cooler.
Spokane City Council members ultimately voted 5-2 in favor of adopting the proposed ordinance, a step which now requires landlords to have adequate cooling in each bedroom by 2032.
Throughout those discussions, it's come back to how much is a human life worth? What is the cost of doing nothing?
Supporters say this would help lower heat-related deaths and illnesses, while opponents argue it would impact affordable housing.
The ordinance needs better policy definitions. Adequate cooling is still subjective and difficult to measure.
As for the two no votes, those came from Councilman Michael Cathcart and Council President Betsy Wilkerson. Both expressed the need for adequate cooling, but shared hesitations in the overall approach.
And I do get concerned that we're calling this a right to cooling, which is going to end up being a misnomer, because people are going to believe that they have a right to cooling, which means energy is free, which means that they don't have any responsibility there.
Also worth noting, under this freshly passed ordinance, if a unit is not kept cool, a tenant has the right to buy cooling equipment themselves and then seek up to $500 in reimbursement from the landlord.
Some of them may use that as an excuse to vacate. I'm not saying that they will, but some could.
This problem requires a multifaceted solution. Those of us on the ground will continue to do our part, and you must do yours.
Reporting in Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Federal immigration authorities plan to open new detention facilities in 4 different cities all across the country. This is according to new documents obtained by our Seattle sister station. One of the facilities could be in the Seattle area, while the other cities are Philadelphia, Miami, and Denver. New documents lay out plans to hold 1,500 detainees in Seattle. That's around the same capacity as the Northwest ICE Processing Center, which is in Tacoma. The change would make them 2 of the largest immigration facilities in the country. DHS says the new facilities would have 5 immigration courtrooms and at least 20 offices for attorneys from ICE's legal division. That would reduce the requirement for ICE to transport detainees to and from court hearings. Right now, ICE houses more than 65,000 detainees in about 207 facilities across 40 different states. A community that once lost everything because of a wildfire is now giving back. The Chelan Church of the Nazarene has created a way for people to get help and to give back. They have clothing, diapers, masks, first aid, and even cleanup supplies. The group started collecting supplies after the Chelan Hills fire, and now the operation has expanded to help people impacted from fires all across Chelan and Okanagan counties. Some of the people keeping the donation center running are the very same people who first arrived needing help.
We lost a trailer, 50 years of my family items in it, and this is what we walk away with, souvenirs. A whole life destroyed for a piece of aluminum souvenir. But this will be on my mantle forever.
So the man that you just heard from right there, Ron, says he spends most of his time at the center working from early morning until the evening. If you are interested in helping, you can visit the Chelan Church of Nazarene website and find out more.